And we're live. Welcome to Dollar Cost Live. What's up?
What's going on?
It's me, Hex Jesus, here with Big. Wait, this way. Krakowski.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Good to see you.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, thank you, Big K, for coming on, man. I just really wanted to test this out, and just kind of see how this whole YouTubing myself works,
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm glad to be a part of it. Glad to be here for the test.
Oh, for sure, bro. I had to put the pink shirt on, for sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say I finished working out, and I was like, you know what? I'll throw the hex shirt on.
Dude, I'm jealous you can work out, man. They're like, we can't even work out right now, man. It's they open the gyms for a minute and then they close it. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that sucks. No, you can the beach thing is kind of like you can work out at the beach, but you can't just like chill at the beach, and then nobody's stopping anybody from doing anything on nature trails and shit. So like I just have been going on mountains. There's like a mountain biking trail right by me that pretty, like 4 miles or so that I'll do. And then I like to hit up the. I'm a big fan of that VR shit. There's a couple different games in there that are like workout games that I'm sure I look ridiculous as hell. Like,
oh yeah. Who's the first people who did that? It was like the Nintendo Wii or something.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I remember when that was the first one, like the bowling and the baseball and all that. Yeah. I remember that coming out. Party games for hours.
Yeah, I think it was what the fuck was the name of it? It was I think it was like Xbox Connects or Kinetic or something.
Yeah, yeah. I played around with that, and like I thought that was pretty cool. It was all right, but like there's like you had to have the sensors, and it was way more restrictive. Where like this shit, like you just draw a circle around you wherever the hell you are and play. Which is like I mean, as far as game systems go, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I tried to check the other channel. It was fucking like I got some reverb in here.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, shout out to our viewers, man. What's up? Got our first 2 viewers on right now live. Oh my god.
Awesome.
I'm famous. We are famous now.
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
I know, right? Yeah, it's mostly going to be live streams for now, and then once I get a couple, I'm going to write down some video ideas, and then I'll probably have some like. There's going to be like a couple of these a week. Maybe, I don't know, depending if the guests want to go on, we can go 3 hours or 2 hours, but most of them are going to be like kind of short. And then I'll have some actual like edited down videos and stuff, kind of like, it'd be kind of funny. I'd probably do this as a joke. Top 10 cryptos to make you a millionaire in 2020. Just like stupid shit, like trolling.
Oh yeah. You got to have all the clickbait titles that you can get.
Mm-hmm. It'd be like hex. And I mentioned shares at the bottom.
Yeah. Make sure you got your shares.
Got your shares, baby. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But like I was saying earlier, like it's crazy how the United States, how it is. It's literally like a game of pyramids, man. Like you want to be at the tippy top of as many pyramids as you can. Wow! The minute I put my hands up, I got like tripled our viewers. But it's a game of pyramids, and the way it works is like you want to be at the tippy top of as many as you can, and if you are, your life is better off. And but it's sort of like you're the tippy top of these pyramids that are pyramids, but they're also like Ponzi's as well. So it's like we're like it's sort of like the social stuff and the money stuff is a pyramid, and then some of the like companies and the ways you invest your money are all Ponzi's. So it's like it's a game of pyramid and Ponzi's, and that's sort of how it seems. It's like even the stock market's a Ponzi. I mean, it's kind of like if everyone sold their fucking stocks, we'd go to zero.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trust and faith that's built into that system for sure. I mean, it wouldn't work otherwise. There would be a banker. I mean, same thing with the dollar. I mean, if there's a bank run, I mean, there's not enough paper to hand everybody even half of what they have.
I know, dude. I mean, like that's the reason all this stuff's going on right now with the whole banking system right now is like the overnight. You ever heard of something called like the overnight repo market?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I mean, I'm not super familiar. So
it's basically like the banks lending to banks overnight because they can do all they can be in negative or they can owe a bunch of money at the end of the day, but their books have to equal zero. Like what's called debt to loans and everything. It's all got to be kind of equaled out, right, to a certain ratio. And if they're under, they need to borrow money, because if they close owing money, someone could hit them with like, oh, you guys are insolvent. Right? So, but if you're not insolvent, the next day you can borrow all the money you want. It's all good, but then money has to return back. It's fucking craziness, dude. Like basically, people they pay all kinds of they'll pay like fucking 6%, 8% on like, I don't know, like $1 billion, $500 million to each other. Yeah,
just to cover the books for temporarily.
Everything all good. Next day, ooh, let's go make that money. Ooh, and oh shit, we lost money, and then they borrow it, and it's fucking crazy, dude. And so basically, what's going on is the all right. So the root cause of this is the baby boomers, right? Because I'm guessing you're what, like an older Xer or like or younger Xer?
I guess I'd be like an old millennial. I'd like right on the edge of it. Yeah.
Well, basically you already know this, but the boomers are retiring right now. Basically, like, so every day, roughly 10,000 boomers are retiring every single day, and even though they're not cashing out of the entire portfolio, they're starting to like put a decent amount of money into like bonds, or they're moving their money into like more like cash-based sort of stuff like CDs and stuff, something to pay them a fixed interest rate, and so it's drawing money out of the stock market. And so you had a bunch. So there was like a little point like in 2000, I would say probably like 14, maybe 2011, where you had, even though we were barely getting out of the recession, you had a bunch of the millennials starting to get jobs, the older millennials paying taxes. You had the Xers in full force, and you still had the boomers paying taxes. So everybody, all three categories, even though the millennials are small in the stock market, you had these three categories of people pushing money into the stock market. And then I think in 2015 or 16, you started getting withdrawals from the boomers. The beginning of the withdrawals, and that's what shit started getting kind of like loopy, where the market started getting all fidgety and stuff. So that's when they started picking up they kept lowering the interest rate, so they kept the interest rates at zero, and they just quantitative easing, quantitative infinity, all that bullshit, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's going to get, I mean, like, you see now that younger generations are looking more towards, these digital assets as opposed to stocks. And, like, that's not going to help that system any further. I mean, the next generation is like, you're not going to get that next generation's the same amount of influx from their money.
Hey, how do you say that name, Brain? Is it Brand? Breen?
Bren?
Well, hey, Bren, go on Valuetainment. It's her newest interview. That one's really good. And then she also has one on Daniele DiMartino. She's like this old, well, not old, but she's like this female that used to work at the Houston Fed, and then pretty much became the number 2 for the president during the whole financial crisis. So she got to see a lot of that stuff. She has a really interesting one with I forget his name. It's like her and the Bond King, where they break. I mean, the first 30 minutes is kind of like her, kind of like circle jerking the guy a little bit, telling her like, "Oh, you're so awesome," and doing all this cool stuff. But then they get into the market, and like that dude is so smart, man. Like that guy knows his way around bonds, man. Like I wouldn't be that'd be so crazy if he got into Hex, man. Holy shit, we're in the money, dude.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, like he pretty much like explained like, back in the 80s when he started, or the 70s, he was like, nobody wanted to be in bonds. He's like, so every firm had you, because we were handling retiree money and like these pensions. He said, so everyone wanted to be on the stock market side, but nobody wanted to be on the bond market side. So he says like when he tried to apply for a job, he's like, you know anything about bonds? He's like, no, but I mean I'll learn it. So they're like, fuck it, like who cares? Let's just throw this guy in. You have to make a quota. We have to have a certain percentage of people in the bond place. So that's how he got in, because he's like, no way I could have got into the stock market at all. But because I went on the bond side, they let me in. And he said, so what he did is like, because he was a math major, he read the entire manual on bonds, and because he was a mathematician, he actually figured out all the formulas by hand, wrote them out, and he was like, okay, now I understand it. I kind of understand everything. And then when he went to on his first day on the job, he knew more about bonds than the actual owner of the company. because he actually could break down the whole math of it like down. So like he was like, I thought everyone knew about bonds, I guess, and then from there he started like killing it in the market, and then pretty much he became the bond guy for like any fund. So I mean, he became he's a billionaire. Yeah. Like the one thing he said that he regrets in his entire life is he wishes that he started his own business sooner. He said he should have started in 1994, and he didn't start it until 2009 or 10. Yeah, so he said he just got complacent at his job. He was making, imagine you're making $1,500 million a year.
No, yeah, I mean, it's hard to be like, why leave? What is, I mean,
yeah. But he says
he that, but as soon as you, I mean, but the thing is like, even when I've been in a good situation, I mean, yeah, when you leave, I regret not starting a business sooner. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, but everything's hindsight 2020. It really is. Like,
oh, for sure.
I mean, like, I don't know what if. All right, so some people that are like, I got into Hex late, right? What would have happened if you had gotten, like, if you know how you are, you could have FOMO'd your entire stack of ETH on the first day, and then you could have done some stupid shit and emergency unstaked. When you all kinds of bad stuff, you don't know what could have happened. Like, I mean, obviously, if you're like even tempered, that's cool. But what if you like, the Hex is bullshit and the price went down? Fuck this shit. Like you'll pull a nightly. You know what I mean?
Yep. And people have done that, and exactly, yeah. And I mean, like, and like, I don't think it's the last time. I mean, surprisingly, there's stakes that unstake every day. Early.
Yeah.
That's
but I restake.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if you're restaking, but yeah, it's. I mean, and that's the thing too. Though I will say that the system, like, I mean, I thought that I knew. I mean, I read everything that there was to know. I mean, I've been paying attention to in the chat room, in the Telegram chat for like, I mean, months and almost a year prior, and there is still doesn't mean I did everything right out the gate. Still doesn't mean that I staked properly out the gate. Still doesn't mean I knew everything. Like, we didn't know a lot. We didn't understand. I mean, how many months went by before we thought of the idea that like you could emergency unstake halfway through the year and double up on your share, and get a 30% more share. I mean, months went by before that.
Yeah, and I don't even think. I think Richard even said he hadn't even thought of that. He was like, dude, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, like, I mean, a lot of my original stakes were all 1 to 10 year stakes, because that's what pretty much like Richard was saying. Like, that seems to be a good one, because then the bonuses stop going up basically after year 10.
I knew that there was reason to go 15. So like, I mean, out the gate, I went 15 on like day 3. Like, I mean, I have some.
Yeah, my average would be 8 years, 8 or 9 years, bro. I think it's like 6 and a 6.2 or something. 6.2.
That's pretty damn good. I mean, even though I do have some big stakes, I think my average is like right under 6. I think it's like 5.89 or something, 99 or something, sort of around there.
Yeah, I mean, but anything that emergency unstaking now, what I'm doing is I figured out that, all right, if let's just say you take a stake of well, not a million. Let's just say something more reasonable. Okay, let's just say 100,000 Hex stake, and you evenly disperse it within year 1 to 15. Your multiple on your stakes will be about, like, if I remember this correctly, it's going to be like 2.4, 2.3 extra stakes. If you take the first 2 years out, so you just go directly to year 3 to 15, it goes to 2.7 times your shares.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's currently based on the share price. If the share price goes up, it's going to be lower, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's pretty crazy. I mean, I turned like 150 trillion shares into like 480 trillion shares or so. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I mean, that's about right though. I mean, that's I can see why that. I mean, and that's the name of the game, is like, if you. I mean, I don't think that people that are fighting the price down short term, people that are looking at whether it's going to pump next week or not, I think are entirely missing the whole. I mean, or they're just trying to keep themselves entertained in the interim, But that's not the point at all. It's going to be a long haul for like the real serious returns.
Definitely. Hey, let's see. Well, here's a good question. What percentage of your stack's in liquid?
That's a good question. Now, like it depends on who you're talking about, you know, because like my
Tyler,
like my personal stuff, you know, is almost all fully staked up. Now I have some some business stuff, like for instance Bingo Earth that we do, you know, like that stuff isn't all fully staked.
I still have to play.
Yeah,
I need to play.
come and play again. Yeah, well, we only do it like I pulled it back to just once a month because like I mean I just don't think like once a week is just too much for me to be like, and you know like bingo's fun, don't get me wrong, it can be entertaining, but it's not like personally I don't know if it's a once a week entertaining kind of endeavor. It's more like a once a month entertaining thing. But yeah, it's fun. I mean we enjoyed it last time, and I think next time is going to be the 16th. So next.
Remind me, dude. I'll be there.
Yeah, definitely.
So how do you do it?
Cool.
You do it through like Livestream, or how do you do it?
So our site is like actually Kai, who is awesome, you know, graphic designer in Hex community, has been super helpful because like I mean you're not supposed to, like DLive is not naturally supposed to be on it, able to be embedded in a site, and he was able to figure it out. So like you go to our website and our DLive stream is right on like the first thing that comes up, and then if you scroll down just a little bit you can pay through PayPal. So it's like $10 to play, and the $10 gets you, we usually do 4 games and then like a giveaway at the end. So it's 20,000 hex per win. So, you know, you can win, like technically if you won all 4 games and the giveaway, you could win up to like 100,000 in a clip. Yeah, it's not too bad for $10. It's a pretty good, you know, that's pretty sick fiat hex on ramp right there. The risk reward there.
Yeah. Maybe we should do like the numbers like the mob, where like we pick the horse track numbers, and then whoever like
that would be cool for like for the giveaway at the end, because I just have everybody punch in 5555 and then you know we pick one. And then everybody who plays each week that they play is get like if you buy a card, then you get entered into, we're doing like the end of the, like right before, the 2 days before big payday, we're going to do a drawing for 500,000 hex to who, and you had to play though. You had to play in one of the bingo games to be able to get into that drawing.
I think Hex Toys just did 1 million, or is doing some million.
They just dropped that 1 million giveaway too. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Let a couple of sticks come out. I'm gonna come out with with the fucking dragon out here, bro. Like pull out a 1 billion. Can you imagine a 1 billion hex giveaway? Fuck,
oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, that would be crazy. I mean, we are just about to do a 1 billion hex giveaway on many billion hex giveaway on big payday, but yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is that like the nice thing about like that whole thing was that like, you know, I feel like if you had the foresight to plan ahead, then it's not too bad. Like Bingo Earth, we planned ahead with that, and like somebody gave us, you know, there's a couple different people that gave us the donation money to get the hex like back in February, you know, so it's, you know, it's not too bad. It's not like any sweat off of anybody to give away 1 million hex for us, you know. It's all good. If you plan ahead, it's all right. Yeah. I mean, who knows what's going to be though, like 2 days
coming to the fund.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, I mean, at least for me, I think all I have in liquid is 100,000. That's all I have.
So
I'm sorry.
I'd say I'm similar, where like I don't have much more. I have like literally probably about 150,000 like liquid right now, and then but Bingo Earth has some that like we just do we'll do like a 30-day rolling stake, so it comes off right before the game, and then we can distribute it out to whoever wins and then restake it.
Definitely. Don't forget to hit the like button. I guess that's what YouTubers say.
Yeah, like, smash the likes.
Smash the like button. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get all my updates. You know, whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you gotta come up with a flashy little line. I like that. Once you get saying it, you know, like, you know, the dudes who like whether it's Ivan or Hexo or whoever it is that like, you know, like here they come with that one. Here's that. There's that line. You know their taglines. Which, I mean that's what works.
Like my line becomes like, yeah, all right, motherfucker, suck a dick.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. But let's see some of the questions in the chat. Okay, bam. All right, let's go. how much hex will you need in the next few years to be able to make 10,000 a month by yield farming? Well, okay, so that depends on how you get into hex. So if, let's just say you're brand new to hex, you're probably going to need a decent chunk to yield farm, because you're doing 1 month stakes. But for a person that's laddering out right now, is having end stakes, not that much, I don't think. I mean,
yeah, that's the key right there, is that like it's all about the same thing. It's like having that foresight to see what's coming, and like to plan appropriately, because like yield farming by the month to month will get like, just like crypto, just like mining in Bitcoin gets progressively harder every month, but your machine just works shittier every fucking month because the hash rate keeps going up. In the same way, because the share rate keeps going up, your same stack, restaked every month like that becomes, less and less powerful of a mining machine, over time. So like if you plan your machines out to be to like let up every, like now for then yeah, you're right, probably not that much. I mean, let's think about it. If like right now about like 250,000 is going to be like about $1,000, so like 2.5 million is your 10K mark right now. But if you laddered it out past big payday, then that would increase. It would be like maybe double that. So like, you're talking, if you put a 250 away, then it might be 500,000 by then. Which I mean, if we get a 10x on hex from now until your stakes start coming up, then cut that and down by 10x. So like then you'd only need like 50,000 per stake, and that's for a couple grand. So
for a couple, and I think so. Let's just say the all-time high is 55 cents. Let's just.
We lose that coin. We lose that. Jesus, Hex Jesus. Oh no! I think Hex Jesus froze, or did I freeze? Hey, I'm back. I made it. All right, there we go.
There you go. Hey, this is the first stream. Expect bugs.
Yeah. Hey, it happens.
You're not like.
I was like, "What's going on?" I had to switch my internet up. My internet crapped out on me for some reason too.
Definitely.
All right. Where were we? I forgot.
Where were we? Yeah. Basically, like
there's some
good. Yeah. Basically, you're lucky right now if you're staked right now because it's going to be sort of a cat chasing its tail or a dog chasing its tail eventually with Hex. With of course, people with money always, people with money got money. That's just what it is always. So like right now, like so you could be saving for 3 years on your Bitcoin stack, and some fucking asshole just with his little like pocket change fucking got some more bigger bag than you, literally. Like, but it costs you significantly less.
Oh yeah, a lot. If you just do it now, you'd be much better long term. So yeah, to yield farm, I think my answer would be that like if you wanted 10K a month going forward, then you'd want to have you'd probably want to have each month like you'd set up 50,000 to what we say 50,000 would end up being like 2K at 10x for our price right now. So then you'd probably want to have $250,000 probably coming out, 200,000 each month. Yeah. If you're looking for yield $10,000 a month yield farming monthly. Now that's if you're selling the whole stack each time it comes up too. So like it's not really,
pretty fucking
exactly.
But I think
should be stupid.
What I'm doing is I'm going to restake my principal and 50% of my interest. I'm still debating. Maybe up to a certain point where I feel like, I've got enough cash or whatever, I'd be like, you know what, 75 or all of it at that point. Like, it just depends how I'm feeling at the time and what's going on. I mean, dude, who knows? It's more,
if we're at the bottom of the bottom and you're like, and it looks like the shittiest time to sell, then like, no, I'll probably just restake that, But if we're looking at straight strings of green candles, then I might sell a little more than I.
Dude, I can't wait. Heard of them call it like fucking Hulk dick, fucking green candle.
Oh yeah, I would love to see some of those, man.
Stretch that bitch out like Mr. Fantastic. Shit.
Oh yeah, like Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah. So are we in consensus here that at least like I don't know what we'll earn in interest for our 2-year stakes, but the 1-year stakes, I think if Kyle said the minimum you can get is a 2x on your principal, which is basically, so you give 100,000 hex stake, that's 200K hex. But I think we're probably gonna get somewhere closer to like 130 K hex in interest, and then the real like question mark is going to be all the end stake bonuses, which I think will be probably another 50K or maybe 20K in bonuses.
Yep. That sounds about right. I'd say I feel like the unstaked bonuses. I mean, I want to believe that they're gonna like not be as much going forward, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like they're gonna be pretty consistent. Like there's people unstaking regularly.
So all right, let's just say just to close up the 55-cent scenario. So let's just say we hit 55 cents on hex. And then it takes an 80% dump down, right? Or a 90% dump down. Let's just say that, right? Because the whole market went fucking thermonuclear and just disintegrated, right? Which is probably going to happen to every coin when the market goes down. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh fuck, no, not again. But so if it goes down 90%, then that means it's going to hit 5 cents.
5 cents, yeah.
Right, but let's just say it goes 95, 2.5 cents. How many X's is that from now? That's a decent X from here. That's pretty.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So if of course if the project and everything survives, obviously, but I think it is, But like if it does and everything, that means you're like right now you're still safely buying Hex right now at these prices. Yep. So it's like you're still buying below ICO price. Like we're still in ICO long phase.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's exactly right. And yeah, that is true. Yeah, I mean, it would have to take more than 95%. It'd have to go even like 98% dump to be anywhere near where we're at right now. I mean, and
99%.
And
We still would be right now at the
we
price.
still would be just right at, yeah, exactly. We'd still be,
And
that's just crazy. Yeah.
that shit is like, we would still be up because these stakes are coming out. So it's like our stack would be tripled. So it wouldn't even matter if the price is at it where it's at right now, because we'd have like 3x a stack. By the 2-year stakes, it's like, it gets dumb, dude, because all the emergency end stakes and all the people are like who don't know what they're doing and stuff. I mean, those 2-year stakes could be like 3.5 times principal.
Oh yeah, and I mean, yeah, just on just to think about that is crazy. Like the amount of, yeah, that's pretty wild to think about.
3.5. The math gets crazy on the 3 years, right? If it's plus 20 plus 1 full more year of more emergency unstake bonuses, the 3-year could be 4.5x principal. The 4-year
if you're getting 4.5x, if you're getting 4 times your principal, then even if the coin dumps 99%, then like you still are fine. You're still, I mean, you have to dump more than that. You have to dump 99.5% to be back where we're at. And then even if where we're at, well, you've got 4 times your stack, so like you're still up 4x. Like,
I'm just trying to think, like where the math gets really crazy is. Yeah, I would say 5 to 6. 5 to 6. I think the 6. It's a gamble, but the 5 year is going to be a nice payout. The 6 year is where it's going to get stupid.
That's where it's going to start. The ramp up becomes so apparent at that point in time that like you start to see, you know, multiple X's on your stacks after that, because you'll be outpacing the general public. You know,
and
that's where the numbers are. Like you can't even, when like somebody asks me about like a 10-year stake, and I'm like, yeah, you know.
I think current fucking consensus on the 10-year stakes like 80x principal.
Yeah, well, like Kyle had said, he said 80, but he's like, there's been so many penalties now that he'd like to revise that to 100. You know, which I mean is like
that thing's gonna be like 250, 370x your principal. Fuck, man.
Well, that's anything past that. That's the thing, is that those stakes, that was another one of those things in the system that like Richard thought, you know, we all thought that like maybe staking, you know, 10 years is the max and that's the best. But like, I mean, if you do a 15-year stake, I mean, the exponential gains on your shares is going to be so, like I said, those are numbers, like when you're talking about like 2000x, you know, on your coins, like how can you quote that to people and see, and like give it to them with a straight face, you know, like that shit's and like, it's just, those are the numbers. It's
people are liking the thumbnail of like Moses parting the sea full of cake.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh my god! The fact that everyone ends stakes BTC more valuable, so start earning more. Yeah, and then it gets really crazy. So the people, I think you are a 1%er if you make so. When I mean 1%er, I'm talking about the first people, because like by the time I emergency unstake my first 10-year stake, someone will be emergency unstaking their first 9-year stake, because it's a ladder, because we're ahead of everybody, right? So I think there's going to be a 1%er club for the guys who make it to like, I think by year 13 we'll know what's up already.
Oh, we might have a glitch.
There we go.
I'm good. It's coming back.
There we
go.
Right,
you're good.
I'm coming. There we go. I'm good. Had to run my way back to the stream. Yeah, but I mean, literally by that time, it's like the 1% of stakers are making 80% of the interest. That's how stupid it can get. I mean, it can get really crazy. Like,
it will get that crazy. And I mean, like, and then when you model it further, once you get past about, I believe it's like 23 or 24 years, something like that, is when the shares become like, we're going to get very close to where shares will become parity, like parallel with the price of apps. You know? Yeah, which that's crazy to think about too. Just because it's like it's so yeah, exactly. When you look at the numbers now, you're just like, what? Those are numbers that I do math like, and like I don't use numbers that high very often, and I don't see them in print very often. Usually it's in scientific notation if you do see that, so it's still just like, whoa.
Yeah, into fire like crazy. Like, yeah. Yeah. It's like anything, like any project, you know, like with like even stuff like Litecoin, it was pennies, and then 6-7 years later, it was worth like $1. So I mean, no, it was fractions of pennies.
I can remember being on Poloniex and looking at the charts and thinking to myself, man, I don't know, $3 for a Litecoin seems a little overpriced. I can remember that.
I'm paying $60 today, bro. I'm paying $60 right now for it.
I know. I can remember. I think the lowest I ever bought Litecoin was at like $1.87 a piece, like this. And like I said, I got in at $1.87, and then I think when I was at like $3.50, I sold, and I was like, this is incredible, man. I was like, it can't go any higher than this, you know.
So much we use citation notation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how.
My snake bag is interplanetarian, or like I'm the size of a galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also, but the one thing I really do like with the Staker app and a lot of this new stuff that's good, the gamification with the stakes, is that it's making you strive to try to stake longer. Because if you're a shark or a dolphin or a fish or whatever, you're trying to get to the next level, and that could cause you. You know what? I could do 50% of my. I could use 50% of my money, but you know what? I'm going to throw it all in because I'm trying to get to the next level. And I think that's going to happen to a point where like the whales, or some of us, because I mean, basically everyone in chat right now is going to be a whale. I mean, compared to the average person. So it could get to the point where like we're like, dude, I cashed out enough. I'm like, do I need this money right now? Not really. Just stake it out, dude.
Yep.
Dude, that's where the rich get richer. At that point.
Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, like that is the name of the game in general. That's why you see like the richest Bitcoin wallets and Ethereum wallets, like in market down cycles, like they're not selling, they're buying more. They're accumulating. That's the wallets to pay attention to. If you want to see what smart money is doing, then you watch the richest 100 wallets in anything and see where they're going.
In every coin, like if you see on the ticker symbol down here that I have Celsius in there, they have a top 100 list, right? So that the reason I kind of like what they're doing is they're promoting the top holders of their ecosystem. They're treating them like VIPs, like, oh, you're a top 100 wallet, woo! Every month you get a free they give them a big care package, probably like the size of that Louis Vuitton thing, right there, Louis Vuitton thing right there, full of like swag and all kinds of cool shit, and they actually get like private reports of like, hey, this is the stuff here. You have to sign this NDA, and we're gonna let you know what happens on the background, or like what deals we got cooking. So you end up keeping the whales in the ecosystem pretty happy by telling them like, yo, this is what's going on. Oh, like okay, and it makes them real happy, and they don't sell, which keeps the price stable as fuck. And then
just in general, I mean, like you see it if you've ever paid attention to any project, really, scammy ones, not scammy ones, whatever ones. Like a big portion of what drives like sentiment is how things are going in the chat room and how engaged the developers and how engaged the marketing team is with the investors. Because like you know the exit scams because you just got to go in the chat room and somebody will be like, hey, have you heard from X, Y, or Z guy in the past 2 days? You're like, no, he used to be in here every fucking waking moment of his life, and now he's not anywhere to be seen. And you're like, oh, that's weird. That's
and maybe you know what made me really sad too is like I'm not going to say the name of the project, but it was a Hex-ish project in the Hex ecosystem that had a painter that went all in, and like, bro, that broke my heart, bro. Like, I know some people were laughing and shit, but that was not funny, man. That guy, it's the same thing as like the Chris Mata guy, like Bitcoin. Dude, all those people on the stage didn't know what the fuck. They were just pawns.
Yep.
Pawns, dude.
100%, man, 100%. I mean, that's there's always a patsy in those situations, and like as soon as I got a friend who says a saying that he's like, if you are at a poker table and you look around and you can't figure out who the donk is at the table, you're the donk, and like that's like if that dude, if like you hear from the crew and you're like, oh man, that guy is he seems like he's not all there, or not like that guy made the mobile thing. You're like, I don't know, and that's a bad sign. That's a very bad sign. That's a good, if you have some awareness, you'd be like, oh, this doesn't seem like this is all driving, and the thing is, like, whether it's that or they're, just go into t.me/rec clubs and like go check out that shit for a little while. And like, it's my emotions range, like some days I read that shit and my like heart weeps for these people. And like, I'm just like, oh, this is painful shit, man. Real life painful shit. And other days I go in there and I'm like, haha, fucking idiots. Haha, holy shit. I mean, like, and that's, I know it's not probably the right way to be, but like,
I laugh at the Hex community because like, I fucking like, I didn't know these people, but like I knew. I mean, I saw their names around in the Telegram groups and stuff like that. Like, I felt really bad for fucking Black Sheep, dude. I think he went all in on some projects, and fuck, man, dude, that sucked. Mm-hmm. Shit, dude. I hope he's doing okay. That's all yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, those are the kind of things that like is you can't. I don't know what to say about it because I feel bad about those things too. I do not want to see that happen to anybody. Along the way, especially in a project that like you realize, something that's funny is like, how we talk about narratives regularly. Narratives are something that aren't just given to you by your external world. Sometimes you create your own narratives for yourself. And we're all doing it regularly, and you see. In this project or other project, whatever you're doing, you see sometimes what you want to see in it, and you don't see the same things that everybody else wants to see in it, so like I see the immutability, the fact that it's not a trading vessel, the fact that it hopefully gets people's money before they get into other scams, I see like those are the reasons to be like, there's all these unique things that I see in it that like are like, of course, that's why I'm here, but like I forget very quickly that that's not why everybody's here by a long shot. People see whatever they see. Some people just saw the flashy marketing and are here just because price go up, flashy marketing, or they just see, they see the ad or whatever their reason is, they all come for different reasons. So like you got to make sure to remember that and like have the understanding that like people are going to make goofball like things that to you and I seem completely outside of the gamified rules of the system. You're like, no, that's not how you do it at all. No, that's not. No, please don't. But they're literally seeing. They're like, no, in my game, that is exactly how I do it. I always, buy the bottoms, sell the tops, and then FUD it out as hard as I can. Like I can't wait to FUD things out and watch people, unstake, all that. Like there's people who that's their game plan, and like you tell them. There's a better way, and they're like, "Fuck you! I'll do what works." And like, I mean, and to a certain point of me, like, you can't blame them. You can't blame that shit. That's just, it's just people adapting to their situation and using what works. And
I get mad sometimes at some of these supposed Giga Chad traders. Supposedly, I bought the bottom and then I longed it and then I fucking rode that motherfucker to the top and then at the top I sold the top and then I shorted all the way to the bottom and then I bought the bottom. Like, fuck out of here, bros. See all the tweets, all the deleted tweets and all the fucking, it makes it look like people on Twitter all the time, like if a tweet doesn't get enough like likes, they just delete it. So when people look on their page, they just see nothing like, oh, this guy gets a lot of likes. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Engagement's a super funny thing like that, where people do whatever they can to artificially increase their clout.
Yeah. All right. So I got a question for you. Damn, Brandon, dude, you're coming up with hella good questions. All right, let's go. What would you prefer, ETH or LTC long-term hold? Fuck.
It depends. Ooh.
So if Bitcoin survives, I could see an LTC price equal to what Bitcoin is today. Give it 2 cycles. It could be chilling at 8,000, and we think that shit's boring as fuck. It's just timetables. If it survives, obviously. Like everything, if it survives. But I think Litecoin is like what Bitcoin was trying to be. Like, is Bitcoin? Like, I mean, I know Richard kind of says like he says sometimes like there's a lot of stuff going on with Taproot and all this stuff, you know, but like there's a bunch of shit too with like Bitcoin's not doing anything either. Like, and they're afraid to do anything. I mean, they're just waiting on Lightning Network. I mean, dude, Charlie Lee and the guys at Blockstream are like the ones actually trying to work on, you know, like engagement, and then like the Litecoin community gets shit on for trying to like do stuff for Bitcoin, because like all this shit's just to help Bitcoin out, and then like that's why they're kind of shitheads too. Like that's I mean I'm wondering, like they're just taking their money and then just like, okay, whatever, you know, invest through here, but it's sort of like you join an LLC and you're just like you're just an investor, but you have no say. So we'll take your money, but we don't want to hear your stupid shit. I mean, that's kind of what I think is going on with that. And then ETC, yeah, I think ETC will do. I mean, that's tough, dude. Both, I guess. I'll hold both. Hold some Cardano too.
I mean, I think that I think that if it was, you know, if Bitcoin sticks around long term and Litecoin has inherent value for a while, I think that Litecoin would be a good long term hold. Now, I think that ETH, the difference in the two holds is that like ETH has a layer of volatility that like, you know what you're getting with Litecoin, and they are working on some progress, you know, which is cool. And because it's a smaller community of people, it's gonna be easier to push that wheel forward, you know, than it is Bitcoin for sure. You know, you might actually get some improvements, you know, but Ethereum, you've got a few things going and a few things not going for it. I mean, if ETH 2.0 works, you know, it's new technology. So like that's a volatility point right there, just as a sticking point. That like, I like Ethereum. I think it's going to go up. I think that there's things that are good in that ecosystem, but I have to be honest and fair that there's a risk factor there. There is an unknown that we have to deal with, and we have to deal with it because there are things that I don't like about Ethereum, like paying lots of money, you know, to do transactions. That sucks a lot. I don't like to do that, you know. I can remember staking Hex for 2 cents. I want to go back to those days, you know. But so if, you know, I will take the risk for the reward that is being promised in that situation. I mean, now it's turning into a promise coin, you know, in that regard. So like, hopefully that works, you know.
But don't we all?
If it does, there's the second. Yeah, everyone does. It makes you feel warm and squishy. It does, you know. To make it's hope. It's whatever you want to call it, you know. But the other thing too with Ethereum is that like Litecoin, if it is going to be what it is a store of value style situation like Bitcoin. It's trying to go after that same similar market. Whereas Ethereum is, as a smart contract platform, is going to have in the future a considerable amount more competition than Litecoin is for the straight store of value. It's just because of the way these networks are being built and constructed and what their strengths and weaknesses are. You know, people are going to build the strength of Litecoin on the same as Bitcoin because there's fuck tons of script miners, you know, money right now. If there wasn't fuck tons of miners running, then it's not as worth that shit. So like, there's very few other networks that are gonna, maintain on that level, you know, that Bitcoin and Litecoin are. So that leads to like, even though I personally see the boom in like this cycle coming for Ethereum, and it already is. I mean, we've already 4x in it, you know. Like, I still think that there's some serious long-term play dangers in it. It's two very big long-term dangers in it: competition and shit not fucking working because it's brand new. You know, those are two big dangers.
I'm gonna say something crazy right now. I've said it in a couple little stuff, but I think ADA will flip ETH long term.
I don't entirely doubt it. Like I mean, like, that's the thing, is that like, again, there's their deal. They are taking a long time to get their product to market, and if it's, again, same vector, if it works, then it has amazing potential to be a competitor, and that's you know.
What I'm seeing that ETH is doing right now is that they pigeonhole themselves. into crypto. That's what I think. That's the problem, is that like Cardano's it's almost like a Shopify eventually, where like anyone you go to ETH if you want to make a crypto platform and some crypto thing, but what happens when because the way Cardano is it's doing with its like could Hex be it could be airdropped onto ADA eventually. If we have trouble with ETH, we can either, so our two options are probably going to be Cardano or Ethereum Classic if we just want to keep everything the same. That's basically our two options if we want to, like, our two logical options are going to be to airdrop onto those two.
There's a few other systems out there that run Solidity that we could use, but like none of them have anywhere near the traction that we would be looking for, And I honestly think I like this because it's just a state system drop that, like, physically speaking, almost anybody can do. I already I'll go out on a limb and say that I believe that will happen, whether we like it or not. Whether Richard is planning on it or not, somebody's going to use the current state system of Hex and airdrop for, maybe they'll call it something else because they won't be allowed to use the trademark, and the Hex branding. But like, somebody's going to come out with another coin and try and drop it on. Like, what do they do with all these other coins when shitcoins come out? Similar thing to Bitcoin holders. It's like, Hex isn't the first coin that's tried to give its coin to Bitcoin people or Ethereum holders or who the fuck ever, because like they already know that that's a bootstrap network. There's already people there that know how to, they don't have to understand teach them what the fuck a seed phrase is. They know all that shit. They're already intelligent enough in the sphere to use the technology. So like, they just want to get it in these people's hands, And like, so in the same regard, if somebody has a product that they think is going to appeal to Hexicans, then they're going to just try and get it in our hands. And we're already going to see that with a few of these Hex clones that are coming up.
All right. So one of the reasons why I kind of stayed quiet during that whole thing with the coins was pretty much like, I personally thought it was a little early to be doing all this shit, because like, it's like, let's just say if we're looking at Hex like Bitcoin, right? Every fucking coin that launched in the first 2 years of Bitcoin failed. Outside of like, on the third year, you had Litecoin. And people still thought it was a shit. To this day, people think it's a shit coin. But that's what I'm saying, is like, we haven't hit the point yet where like, we're still in that bubble phase where we're like, we're throwing shit at the wall, hoping something sticks.
Yeah, everything that's true, exactly. Everything that's built on top of Hex so far is shit on the wall, and like is not like, we haven't fully appreciated and understand, and like somebody hasn't like respected the system enough to understand that like to know what they need to build on top of it and how to do that properly, and what actually is useful in the system to be done. It takes a while for that to for us to understand what we even have, for that to gel properly before we can like, oh, now that's what we need to build on top of it. That's so far nothing's great that's on top of Hex. That's like, another token wise,
Right. Definitely. But it's going to come eventually. But I think, if I'm being honest, when it's actually coming, I think it's after people have some money. If I'm being for real.
Oh yeah. Think about it. It's like, think about why that first coin, that first one that we dealt with, or part of why it existed, is because a painter made some money, that's why that was the thing. So like, as people make money, that's one of those things that I think, I don't know if Richard's talked about it, but that like, in general, when you do well in crypto, what can you do once you have all this crypto money? You can, turn it into cash and spend it and buy nice shit, which is cool. That's probably the best option. Honestly, probably the best option, because like, the other options are to try and invest it in something else and hope that outpaces the returns of Bitcoin or crypto in general. Or like, start a business and turn that business into hopefully something that's going to 10x in the same 3-year time period. And both those things are very, very difficult to do. So
yeah, I think let's just say I'll throw $1 million out just because it's fun. It's just a fun number. Let's just say you make $1 million. I know that's, for some people, like, if you actually know what $1 million is, it's not that much money, really. Especially if you're buying shit in the United States, like you're going to run out. real quick. But
10 million is the new 1 million for sure.
Right. Yeah. 10 million is nice. That's a nice little number. I would say 15 because I want to blow 5 of it.
Yeah, but I mean, like the thing though is like you could have done that, like 20 years ago, $1 million. I mean, 25 years ago, $1 million was $1 million, and that you were
right.
like, damn, shit, yeah.
Yeah. But okay, let's just say you got $1 million, right? Probably the most prudent thing to do with that money is de-risk your life. What I mean by that is pay off any credit cards, and this is grandma and grandpa shit, but it's true. Pay off any fucking credit cards. Pay off your phone bills. Like I would even let's just say if you're not going to change your carriers, you're going to stick with the fucking iPhone or an Android at AT&T or Verizon. I would drop $3K in that motherfucker, prepay that bitch. Like what I want you to do, like what I would want, and that's what I'm going to do for myself is like I'm going to there is not going to be a single payment to hit my account in probably like 3 years. Just because I forgot to fucking I mean, literally nothing at all, other than like me going to some fucking place to eat some Chipotle or some shit or some food.
Well, I'm almost in full agreement. I just think that I think that in some regards, there's some things in life, like I think of debt as like shared risk,
Sure.
So in some regards, if I have me and the bank have this note out on this car or this house that I have here, and something fucking happens to that, well, it's not just me that just eats shit. I don't just eat shit. Me and the bank get to eat shit together, and that I feel, is better, it's a way for me to not feel like, they are taking some risk. I'm taking some risk. It's a risk management scenario, and so I used to be the person that was like, I got to own everything. I'm never gonna have a dollar of debt and everything. And I'm like, God damn, that sounds like a huge bunch of liability and risk for me and like nobody else, and so in that regard, no, I want to be on. I agree, everybody should be on top of their shit, but then you should move back into your levels of risk, with calculation, but they can be beneficial,
No, yeah. But what I mean, I didn't mean go overboard, no debt at all. But obviously,
I like the idea of not having any payments for months and months. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it's just basically it's a good chance. I always say it takes 2 cycles to make some real money in crypto, but it takes 3 cycles to get rich. I mean, rich if you play it right. But good luck. I mean, good luck to you. I mean, hopefully we do it. But but. Yeah, one level of shared. Yeah, it's just basically de-risking you. What I mean, it's not the debt thing. It's just getting that shit off your mind. It's freeing up headspace. You're not worrying about that crap. So every little thing. Go ahead.
There's something that makes me think about his economic policies or not or whatever, but something that Andrew Yang was talking a whole bunch about and his numbers are right on is that if you have a bill that you cannot pay, or that you if you have a set of bills that you can pay and you have one more than what you bills around in your head across the board, which is about one standard deviation of intelligence, just across the board. It doesn't matter how fucking intelligent you are, you just are struggling to use your mental capacity because you're thinking about this fucking bill, and that makes people fucking more fucking racist, misogynistic, fucking evil, just angry, it does, people that are dumber are
all these people.
yeah, people that are when you're dumber and the whole world is fucking more stressful, you're way more likely to lash out. You're way more likely to act inappropriate. It's there you go. Oh yeah, so in that regard, I think that making sure to keep up, not have too many bills and live above your means and anything is more important than anything. Living below your means is the most crucial thing you can do, because then you what it frees up, it's not just about your time. Time is the most important thing, but the second thing that what good is your time if you have it, but your time is spent with these agonizing weights on your mind, So it's really about having the freedom in your mind to think about things that are, when we talk about all the shit that we talk about, we can only do that because we have the space in our lives to do it. If we were working 14-hour days, somebody be like, hey man, you want to hear about this crypto, whatever? You'd be like, bitch, I am tired. I have to wake up in 4 hours. No, I don't want to hear about your crypto fucking, funny money. I don't got time for that shit. And I mean, that's rightfully so. Their mind is way too occupied. So.
Yeah. It's that's so true too. I mean, that's kind of like, because I mean, can you imagine if like rich people, like, they seem smart, but they're really just stress free? And I don't even think most rich people are not stress free. They're not.
No, it's not. No, it's a lot of. I know some people that have a lot of dough, and like you'd think that they look like they're just chilling, just like, oh, I'm just not doing anything. You're like, man, what the fuck does that dude do? And he's like, manage wealth, and that's stressful enough. Like all of what I'm doing on the day to day is trying to relax and unwind and keep myself in a good mindset so I can properly make decisions on huge stacks of cash, and that affects lots of people's lives.
Yeah. Peace of mind, baby. Peace of mind. Ooh, love for Big K right here. There we go.
Yeah, I like that. I love when people agree with me.
Yeah, let's see. One level of share risk. Yeah.
Yeah, that was when we were talking about, like, if you have a mortgage, that's fine. If you have 3 mortgages on your house, that's not fine. That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, or 3 baby mamas.
I mean, that's like a mortgage out on your life. That's a lifetime mortgage.
Yeah. I mean, just dollar cost. I mean, that's kind of like the reason because that's how I started. I started dollar cost averaging and stuff. So I just picked. I would do the research on a couple projects. Like, cool, I like these. Set it on auto. Let's keep grinding, making money, and then, after that, like, once you make that money and stuff, and you ladder out and everything, then it's figuring out the next thing. The next place is to, like, do your research, and then I really do believe in automation. Like, it really helps you out, because let's just say you're not dollar cost averaging into something, right? So this is like a really good strategy it's really good strategy always, but like, it's really strong for you when you're early in a market and you don't have as much money. You can get yourself a really good chunk of money a good position size in something over time, if you have 3-40 years to buy something, right? If you see the vision. Where, like, if some guy that's already has money, he just has to get in. He just has to wait until the price is low, and I'm like, boom, bought it, done. My bag's done. And then those are 2 different mentalities, because the guy that's buying every day, it's hard to FUD him out. It's way easier to FUD out that guy that just bought like $100,000 of something, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah, because it was such a simple, easy decision to make to get in. It's just as easy for him to get out. And so, like, and his decision most likely was made in a much quicker situation. Like, he made it under, I wouldn't say duress, but like, he definitely didn't usually make it with nearly as much of I mean, if you're spending money every day in a small amount, you're thinking about that. You're considering that project more. You're actually looking into it. You're just more invested, emotionally into that project. So, like, you're going to be more knowledgeable on it. I mean, I guarantee that there's whales and hacks that like somebody told them to buy and they bought, and they're just like, that's what I did, right? I just buy the thing. Right. You're like, yeah, but what about the shares and the thing? They're like, I ain't got time for that. I just bought the thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did for my buddies, man. I just told them, like, take $1,500, buy $100, and stake $100 each year for 15 years. Thank me later, motherfucker. Yeah. They're gonna be really happy 3 years from now and shit, when they're like 30 or something. They're gonna be like, bro, dude, thanks. That's a nice little chunk. I mean, that might see $100 in 3 years stakes, and then price being like, that could be $7,000, $8,000 maybe.
Yeah, like 25,000 hex or so probably, and set it out. Yep. Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, that would be a good chunk. I mean, it depends on if you do a 10-year, then that could be, what, 2.5 mil.
Yeah, let me do the math. So on a 3-year stake, that's so it's like 80. So that's 87,500 hex divided by, let's just say the price is like, I'll be bearish in 3 years. Let's say, I don't know, 11 cents.
Yeah, I'd say 10 cents is a good round. I mean,
so it's $8,700. Not bad with $100 that you fucking
Not
forgot.
bad at all, man. Not bad at all.
You're gonna be like, damn, and I set it up for their birthdays. I did this already for like 2-3 people already. Well, I was like, that 4 years gonna be nicer, bro. It's gonna that might buy you a Rolly. That 4 year, that 5 years gonna buy you. What whip you want, man? And any whip under 100,000, man. That's 6 year, dude.
And it does work too. I mean, like it did work. I understand Richard's game with that early on, and like why we have the idea of the freemium feel to it, because like some people that I have that have invested like a second time or a third time, did it because I like out the gate, like we did something small out the gate. I was like my one friend, I literally gave him $100 worth and was just like, here, man, check this out. Back in literally, I think it was Christmas time. I was like, Merry Christmas. And, now once it went up a whole bunch, he was, as typical as it is, after it went up 100x, he's like, I want to buy more. And I mean, he's not the only one that's like that,
Yeah. Yeah. Huge stack of cash, man. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like at a certain point, man, I can't be carrying around like $5 million on me, No, I'm just fucking with you. I think XXXTentacion, I think that's what happened to him. He just got robbed or something, I think, and just got this famous rapper. This one rapper, I think he got killed pretty much by he was posting that he was buying some jewelry or something on Instagram Live, and then the guys managed to track where he was, and they robbed him and they shot him, and he died.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they caught the guys.
I wouldn't Instagram Live me making large purchases. That's for everyone's OPSEC out there. That's.
But if I'm rapping, am I even rapping right if I'm not flexing?
That's true, but like I mean, you can flex without like I mean.
That was a miscalculation. I mean, yeah.
Severe miscalculation.
Very miscalculation. Yeah. Like, let's see. My friends work hard jobs and can never invest. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel you on that. 10-year stakes plus people maybe 600 principal 5 years less. No, I think it's more than that. Oh, the BPD bonus, yeah, but it goes up from there because it's 20% more, and then
right.
Share, yeah.
Yep. That's what it should be, right? Yeah, exactly for the big payday bonus right now. But like, I mean, yeah, that should be about what it'll end up around.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and anyone that's
18-year adjustable rate mortgage, is he talking about a baby mama right there? I bet.
Yeah, your arm, yeah. No, man, 21, dude. That's fucking. That might be a 30-year arm, bro. The balloon. The balloon.
Yeah, that bitch balloons on you real bad.
Hey, you ever seen those movies like what the fuck are they, oh my god, what's the name of that movie? It's the one where they're talking about the financial crash in 2009 and 10 and stuff with not Jim Carrey, but with the guy from The Office, Steve Carell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, in the movie, they have he's like talking about like these douchebag fucking stock or these douchebag real estate brokers. Like, yeah, I usually like going after immigrants and stuff. I give them the ninja loan, and it's like you tell them they can get a house and they just sign on the dotted line. Yeah, the Big Short. Big Short. Yeah.
The Big Short. Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead. I mostly focus on strippers and stuff because they're always paying cash, and
that's great. That's great.
Is it DAI token? Fuck no. That's a fuck no. Fuck DAI.
I mean, like that seems like a ticking time bomb, really.
Yeah. Yeah, my bad, Brent. But like, you can barely trust a stablecoin. You gotta trust a stablecoin that's broken parity all the time. I mean, like, there's mechanisms in that stablecoin to like, if for some reason something happens with DAI token and it loses parity, the guys who hold Maker token end up having to pay out of pocket essentially through their gains. Like, I think they get inflated or they market sell some of the coins in order to restabilize DAI token back to $1, if I remember correctly how that works. But nah, it just seems complicated. I mean, if we're just, I mean, if we have a stable coin, we just basically want the stable coin to be pegged to $1, and we like maybe true USD or Gemini dollar or Tether or USDC Fed coin would be all right. But like, what's the next best thing than DAI?
Yeah,
Not ample, that's for sure. Not ample, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that like if you're looking for stable coin, I mean, just use like I guess the thing right now is that people want a stable coin that's going to be somehow trustless, and like at the moment, like that's just not. I mean, I feel like it's silly because like you really are. The stable coin's whole purpose is to be fiat or close to fiat, and like I mean. Yeah. Just use one of them. Just use True USD. You know, like you can use it, and you don't actually have to be in their system. You don't have to cash out with it. You don't use their system or anything.
You know, you could just cash out into cash. I mean, like you know, yeah, but yeah. But I mean, like I don't know. I'm probably gonna take maybe 20% of my bag. That's gonna be in stable coins or something. I'm probably just gonna leave it on Celsius. I'm gonna put like evenly into 6 stable coins that are US dollar based, not pound or any other bullshit. Gain interest on them, wait, and then chuck into the market on the lows. When I think like once we're 80% down, I'll start dollar cost averaging back into all the projects I like. You know,
so now what's the benefit to Celsius versus something like crypto.com. You know, they both give interest rates on their coins. And as far as I could tell, like crypto.com has slightly higher interest rates on some of their stuff.
You have to lock it. So if of course, like, all right, so if we're talking about cashing out or something, right? We'd be like, okay, I mean, cool. If we're cashing out, we have a bunch of money. Crypto.com is really good for a person that for sure knows that like I don't need this fucking money for a year. Those good interest rates are kind of like fucking fugazi. Like you have to lock it up and you have to buy a certain amount of token in order to get that really nice rate. But you can't take it out without crazy penalties. That's kind of what's cool. So it's sort of like you're locking it in a stake hex. Like if like for me, right? Like I know I don't need this hex right now, so I'll stake it for a year. And I said that, right? But most people that's a new concept where like if I say so, that's what it is. And if you send your US dollars into the stablecoin contract, you're not or this crypto there, you're not moving it. That's how you get those rates. And so you either sign up for a 3-month, a 6, 8, or a 12-year, and then they have like more longer ones as well. And that's what when you go 6-month plus, that's where you get the really good rates with crypto.com. Or with Celsius, you can take it out. It might take you like a day or two, but it's not like months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty much because I've messed with crypto.com, and I knew about that's the only thing that's like I've played with both. The only thing I really haven't done is like, done really much of the staking on either platform really. I mean, I guess technically on Cell, like that one I am because you just have to have it on there to stay. I'm just already getting it. Which is not nice. I mean, like that is a big difference. I mean, on crypto.com, so you have to physically like say, hey, I'm staking this for X amount of time or whatever. Which I mean, But I mean, again, and to the point in the chat here, by the way, don't you just make more in interest with Hex versus Celsius? Yes, you do. You do make more interest in Hex with Hex for sure. I'm not like and like you make more than Hex. Like the best coins in both of those platforms, percentage wise, to stake with, are stable coins. Except for on crypto.com, I believe their CRO token, they give like stupid interest right now. It's like something like 14 or 16% or something.
I think it's because they have another token and they're converting it over now because of the Wirecard thing.
Which I mean, the one token was going up in price a lot and the other wasn't. So they're like, well, fuck this one, I guess.
There was like Charlie. Oh, so this is my one of my compadres right here. Moon Gang aficionado, cultivate crypto. This is the guy that I'm doing our product with. that's coming out soon. We're still,
I've read about that PAX Gold a little bit.
Oh shit.
I've seen that they have a few other packs, like a few other types of products too, don't they? Like
it's what I like at least about PAX Gold. If I were to get it, it's like you are basically. I mean, they say they're buying the gold and they're sharing it in Switzerland, but it's like it's probably the first real crypto gold thing that actually I think might have some staying power. Is PAX Gold. But so it's something if you want to diversify a little bit, like throw 5-10% during a bear market because it's going to go up a little bit and then you just sell out. Like the interest on it's not that much. So like this is actually PAX Gold on Celsius is the first product, the first gold product in the world that you earn gold on gold. So you get paid more PAX Gold. So by staking your PAX Gold on Celsius, you're basically essentially lending gold to Celsius, and then they're
it's not like there's gold settled futures, really, is there? Even
soon, probably there's going to be there.
The crypto, we can do it. I'm just saying that like that's not something that you can like a product on the CME.
The interest rate on the PAX Gold is really shitty. It's like 3% or something. But the thing right now is that gold just hit all time high. So if you had bought it like 3 months ago when it got listed on the platform. You're up like
go look at some of those Discord syndicate streams where I was like where I was telling people fucking silver's at $19, dog. I was like, silver.
I might actually be able to sell my silver finally, bro. Like I bought a shit ton of silver in 2013, and I just been sitting on it, pissed off like a motherfucker.
A lot of people have been for a while. Like when it's the typical meme, the fucking guy, the stick figure with the stick poking it, like do something like.
Yeah.
Jeez, how are you doing? Nothing.
It just hit $30 in the paper market silver.
Yeah.
That means
I know it's
$40. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, yes and no. I mean, like it depends on what you're selling, and because like I mean, if I'm buying like silver bars, like 1,000-ounce silver bars, at least I lost them. Oh no. Those silver bars that you buy now, like I mean, I can tell you the people in this distributor in place to go to get them at that spot price or really close to it. I mean, probably like if it's at 30 right now, you're paying 31 or something like that, 29 to 31, 30 and a half. It's not bad. And they offer physical delivery too. So like if you so choose to go to one of their 3 locations or 4 locations. Oh, there you are. Hey, did you hear any of that?
Yeah, I heard most of it and stuff. It's just I just have to get a drink.
Right. Yeah. So you can get physical. You can get physical delivery but again, the big difference is that as far as what's that piece of money, the one where it's divisible, the dividability, like you're getting 1,000-ounce. Yes, smash it.
Like
you're getting 1,000-ounce bar, so like you can't really split that up and like pay for anything with it or anything. It's a 60-pound like weight.
You can kill somebody with it, that's for sure.
Yeah, that you can get it close to spot. But like as far as eagles or like I personally really like if I'm in that zone, I really like the Canadian maples a lot. For
silver or gold?
For silver.
For silver. Okay.
And the reason why I like them for silver is because they have a like the silver American Eagle. It has a stop loss of $1. If silver goes to the fucking floor and we find a silver asteroid on the that has all the silver we ever need on it, the silver like at the very least that coin in circulation is worth $1. Yeah. Whereas that the Canadian maple is a $5 coin. So like the Canadian maple, it's a $5 silver coin, and at the very least it's ever going to be worth is $5 Canadian, which is worth considerably more than $1 US. So like it has just built into it a much higher stop, about a 4x stop loss in it built into it, which like I mean is I mean like it's like that's the wrong term for it, but like essentially but like a protection on yourself, so that like you can't, it's not gonna like it has value in 2 different categories, as currency as well as silver value. And like no one's ever gonna like the idea that silver's ever gonna be worth less than $5 an ounce is like kind of laughable, but the idea that Bitcoin is worth 20,000 is laughable, and it has been. So like You know, like it's something to just think about. You know, that's one of those little side pieces. I also like the mint and the pieces, and like they all look nice. You know, those are nice pieces.
Maybe Hexen's a very stable. Yeah, that's true. You might not need to exit, but at certain.
Oh,
I
actually agree with this entirely. This statement, Hex will like right now, currently. You know, that's if we wanted to talk about some, like, we'll get into it one of these days. We'll get into some of these Hex clone projects and why I think they have some serious flaws. You know, but like I don't want to like just come at it right now, kind of unaffected, unprepared. But like that's something that I feel like in Hex is like a clear like thing that's going to happen over time is that, like, if you get an increase in price and a much higher, like let's say we have a 10x in liquidity and there's $100 million worth of liquidity, then like moving the price around is going to get extremely hard. It won't be hard right now, but it will be eventually. So like, I mean, if we get high liquidity values, then I would imagine that the price would fluctuate much less. I mean, that's typically how that works, So I could see it. I could see that happening. I could see it like, becoming somewhat stable, more stable. That does not to say that there's not going to be 80%, 90% crashes, just like everything else in crypto. But it'd be nice. I think it'd be kind of a cool idea. I think it would minimize. I think Hex Jesus froze on us again. It's all good. It's all good. I can keep talking. I think it would. I think it would minimize people's want to get into it long term, though, for the mad gains. It would become, again, at that point in time, it would be seen as more of a financial product that, nets you interest, a reasonable amount of interest, over time. But it wouldn't be seen as like mad gains, come this way, 100x's, all that. Like that would be like some story for oh, remember when, that wouldn't be something for, like, that's definitely going, you're definitely going to see a 10x on your stack. There will be the ability, like we could model it out to show people that if they stake long periods of time, if they beat the average, 4.67 or 7.2, whatever average, then when they're beating the average staking class, then you will see outsized returns in Hex. Like you can explain that. So people that do stake long would regularly have, some pretty fat stakes long term in Hex. But like the actual price appreciation, once you get up to several $100 million in liquidity pools, I imagine would minimize dramatically. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's a good answer. I don't know if I'm talking alone now. Chat, let me know if it's just me out here. If y'all have any questions. Well, oh, there he is. Hey, what's up? Hey, you came back.
I exit scammed. What's good?
It's all good. I can keep talking. I was just explaining that I think that the stable coin feature, that like it could be that way. The big thing though, that would be like you wouldn't be able to advertise, or you wouldn't expect to see mad gains in price though if that happened. Like people could still advertise, or you could still say, like, if you're beating the average, you'd see much higher. You'd still see high returns in Hex. Like if you're beating the average stake length, you'd still see 5x, 10x on your whatever huge X's on your stack possibly. But like the price, I don't think once there's a couple $100 million of liquidity is going to shoot up like we've seen so far.
Yeah, but I think slowly it still will be going up because the inflation rate's so low, and then also because people emergency unstaking, you end up at least 50% of the inflation that should be hitting the system ends up just being pushed into the future. Always being pushed into the future, and then it could get to the point where, like, oh shit, here we go again. Come on, you can do it.
Oh, what was that?
Yeah, you see me? Oh, there we go. Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
soon Ethernet cable. Soon.
Yeah, yeah, I do think you're right though. That the staking. I mean that you'll like exactly what you're saying. The longer the gains, the rewards, and like the thing is those long stakes, you'll be more inclined by then to restake and to be able to get those outsized gains. So you're right. It'll get smaller over time.
And the inflation rate should go down like crazy. The minute we pass year 15, all the big payday is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Once we're past 15 years, it's gone. And so the inflation rate really becomes 3.6.
Yeah, it will continue to get pushed. Yeah, you're right. And like as long as people restake some of their coins, then there will definitely be a like you said, a consistent pushing out of the inflation. Like it will never fully, like that 3.6, you're right. It wouldn't be until 15 years that it would actually hit a true 3.69%.
Yeah, right. And then that's when we're all playing, like all the people in right now are like, now we're playing the pleb game now. We're not in the juiced up gorilla tits fucking part of the stakes anymore.
But the thing is I don't think the system is going to be advertised or promoted or anything like that whatsoever. Like at that point in time, I think that it'll be promoted and advertised as just like a financial product, like a digital CD that like you can still get a large return if you stake really long, but
just like gaining more hex. I think it meant sexy. Yeah. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end the stream probably in like 5-10 minutes and stuff. You guys want to like ask any last questions in the chat?
Yep, I like that. I also I like Alan's comment. He likes the idea of providing liquidity, so we can decentralize liquidity more. I think that providing liquidity will be something in the future that will be more profitable than it is currently. I think that if we reach some sort of level where there's some relative stability to hex and there's like 100, I mean, like it's kind of an interesting thing because like if the liquidity pool gets that huge, you'd have to be still, just like now, you'd still have to be a whale, or you'd have to have a pretty good an economic input to make it worthwhile to be in the liquidity pool. But if the price is relatively stable and sees just a lot of reasonable volatility within a short range, then it could be profitable for other entities besides controlling stakes that may be doing this for the benefit of the project now, to be in liquidity pools. I think that is something that I also think that I think that the 0.3% liquidity pool of Uniswap Uniswap version 1 is probably like the lowest fee you'll ever see in DeFi space, right. And I don't think it's going to get much lower than that. I think you'll see products that are going to be better than Uniswap or have more data diversified, allow for flash loans, allow for margin trading, allow for things like that that'll be built that'll cost more. That there's going to be more of a fee on it, because like what we have now is great, but it's really only providing a service to one side of the right. of the population right now in crypto.
I mean, the people that are basically smart enough to even know what Uniswap is right now, and some of this DeFi. I mean, there's like OX API, which is basically like a total. It's basically a better looking it's like a kayak essentially, where you go on all the decentralized platforms and it tries to get you the best price. They're building that out right now, and I'm gonna start playing around with OX because I think that one's gonna pump probably. Because because it's guess who's behind that? NASDAQ.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, these fuckers I know what these guys are doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Starting there. Yeah. I mean, they like that. They build their own products. I mean, they're going to build their own platforms for trading. They're going to build their own platforms for crypto.
Yeah, pretty much. And then yeah. You have anything else to say to the chat right now?
I don't know. I think I'm good, man. This has been lots of fun. I appreciate everybody coming out and chat. This has been awesome. I definitely thanks for inviting me on.
For sure. Way more, man. Next time we're gonna have like way more people. I'm gonna spam it up, dude. It's gonna be like Hollywood Squares in here, man. We're like we'll talk over anybody. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a pretty good talker. I can talk over some people, so we'll see.
It's perfect. Love the ticker. Any plans to make it better than CNN? It already is, bro. We talking about vote Trump, vote Bernie, or some shit like that. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of funny that both sides of the Republicans and the Democrats pretty much copied a lot of Andrew Yang's shit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the dude is a smart dude, and he whether you like every principle that he's coming at you with or not, he's coming at it from like a place of like logical principle. Like, here's some stats, here's like why I came to these conclusions, and here's what I'm seeing. And like, for the love of God, like not one other candidate, right or wrong, can come up with some fucking reasonable shit like that. Like, I mean, like, again, I would love for anybody else to have some statistics and some shit to come at him on the opposing side. It'd be great. But like, it's not that. It's just fucking rhetoric and bullshit and like, it's nothing that's getting us anywhere better. So like, from either side. So like, that's frustrating.
I mean, if you could only do three things as president, like, let's say I'm like, Big K, you are now president. What would you do? What would you change if you're like, all right, you get 3 wishes, 3 things you get to change?
Oh gosh, that is a loaded, tough question. I mean, God, can I? That's. I feel like that's something that I'd have to think about for a while. I'd love to. I'd love to push for honestly, I think that like accepting some sort of level of not universal basic income. It's in like, it has to be long term, but some sort of gap to help people understand that like we are going to move to a more automated world, and like people have to get fucking used to that shit. And like all these truck drivers out there, it's better. It's going to be better not driving a truck for the rest of your fucking life. Like, that's a terrible job. It makes you fucking generally unhealthy. You never see your family. And very soon you're never going to have to do that shit again. Like, if people could understand that would be a great thing. Helping to this police issue, and I think that like my big thing on helping the police issue that we're having right now, I mean, it's a hugely racially charged thing and all that, but a big part that I would help out with is to bring back put more attention on social programs and bolster some of the social programs, and get the police out of the job, like off of the jobs of like doing these social programs that they're doing way too much of. Like, they're dealing with mental health issues and fucking homeless people and shit that like they're just not their fucking job. That is not their job. We need, so like, when we're like, oh, these fucking social work, these idiots go to college and then what do they get? A psychology degree? Well, those motherfuckers should be out in the streets helping homeless people, and we should be funding them to do that shit, because that's what they got their fucking degree in. And so like that, I mean, like, that's the kind of shit that we need more of. And we, instead of like belittling that shit as in like, where's the money in that? Like, we should be funding that kind of shit. That I think would be super helpful. It would reduce the stress of the police. It would make them less trigger happy, all that shit, as well as, giving the left side of things what they want, more social programs to help people. I mean, it's like a win-win thing there that I think. Those would be 2 of my big things. Maybe stop fucking around with everywhere else in the world that we don't belong all the time. Maybe that's another one. Like, fix our shit here, make our shit really nice and kick ass here. Like, actually do infrastructure.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we can get do the infrastructure shit that we need here.
Oh, I don't like how that fucker looks like. We need to like back.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that like it's like I go to those places and like shit's getting nicer around the world, and like I'm driving over the same garbage ass bridges and the same garbage ass fucking structures here that I've been driving over for fucking ever that aren't gonna last forever, and like why does everywhere else look cooler than our shit right now? I would love to invest in some fucking infrastructure. That would be another big thing. Would love to feel like we've talked about that for 6 years now, and that would be another big one.
Yeah, I'd probably free a bunch of fucking like bullshit drug offense. I mean, there's tons of people in jail.
Yeah, I should have probably gone with legalizing fucking dope. That would have been my.
I'd schedule. I don't know. I'd make a lot of drugs probably legal, but then at also free a bunch of people in jails and stuff like that. I just presidential pardon like anyone for a non-violent drug offense. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's like, and play that game, like do the thing that they're doing in Portugal and where they're, in Switzerland, where they like they legalize the heroin and shit, and you go to a licensed place to get it, and like then they also help you get a job and all the rest of that and shit, and then eventually very quickly like you don't fucking take heroin anymore because the drug. There's actually a dude, Johan something or another, who's just did a Joe Rogan podcast recently. He's like I think he's a British dude. Johan or Jonas or something like that. His name started with a J. British guy, and he's done some books on drug issues and a couple other books on anger and depression and anxiety and shit. And his stuff's really good. His stuff is really good. But one of the things he was talking about is his book about drugs. He's like, I've been to all these places, and like the places that legalize it and train these people to like have better lives, they usually stop doing drugs because most people aren't doing drugs. 90% of people are doing drugs recreationally for like enjoyment purposes, drug like alcohol or coffee or whatever, that smoke weed, whatever. But like the 10% that are using it as an escape, it's because they need purpose and they need these emotional things in their lives, like purpose in their life, some sort of sense of belonging, all that kind of shit. If you supply their emotional needs with that shit, then they like out of nowhere, holy shit, they don't want to be addicts anymore because they that's not actually good for them, So. I mean, I think that shit would be awesome. I'm all for that too. That's a good way.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, and then what else would I do? Oh fuck yeah! You couldn't get married until you're 26.
I like that one, man. I like that. I think that's one of those things that like the older.
You know how I get away with everything though. At the end, I'd be like, but military people could get married at 18 because they're ending up. They're defending our country. They get to smoke cigarettes at 18. They get to fucking.
Yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want at 18 if you're in the military.
You're over here fucking being our soldiers. You got it, bro. I'll make shit nice.
Yeah, that's a good call. I like that one. I think that in general, that's one of those. If people lived longer, if we live to be, we get to some sort of Richard's level of us, becoming. Centurion plus like on the average, I would say that should definitely happen. Like people should just not be allowed to get married until they're fucking 30 at minimum. Like nobody should be allowed.
And I'm going to put a shit ton of tax incentives for marriage, for staying together. So I'm going to use the carrot and stick approach.
Make it like longer pays better. You get an extra 20%.
Longer pays better, yes. Longer pays better, baby. Yes. And shorter gets fucked. That's what happens. Like, there's gonna be some bullshit. If you get divorced and shit for being a dummy, I'm gonna put shit in there to you're gonna get the stick. You want to keep the dog on your house, you're gonna get kicked. You're gonna get slapped up in both sides. I'm not talking about just the male. I'm talking about the female.
Yeah, both sides. Everybody gets a feeling. Yeah. You're like, you thought divorce was bad. You're like, well, 25%, like half goes, the third goes to you, a third goes to you, and a third goes to the state, motherfucker. You'd be like, what? Fuck.
like the girl and the guy, like both y'all fuckers can't marry for 3.5 years. 3.65 years.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, y'all are. That's not allowed anymore. You gotta have you're on a break. You're on a marriage, not
Yeah,
that's great. I love it. I love that idea. I always thought that here's my craziest idea. Now, I mean, people are probably not going to like this one, but whatever. I think that if you want to really keep the integrity of the presidency, then I think that you should be allowed to run for president, and you should be allowed to run for a second term, and then after you're done, if you lose your first term or if you're after your second term, we fucking kill you. That's the end of it. Like we just like what you did as a president is your fucking legacy. There's no helping anybody else out. There's no fucking, money that you're going to get on the back end later on. None of that shit. Your legacy is your presidency. And afterwards we fucking put one in the back of your brain and you say like that dude was great. He was a great president. And now we kill him. Yep. Because when all the greats go out on top like that, like I mean, it's like who you want to be? You want to be fucking Jimi Hendrix or do you want to be fucking Elvis Presley? Like how do you want to be? Like,
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, or I don't know. I mean, like I just feel like when you live forever and you end up living like going on and on, your legacy, like everyone's gonna poke holes in your shit, and then like if you just die a martyr on top like that, then like they're like, damn, salute that dude. Let's move on to the next one. Like that's some pretty harsh shit. I usually don't win followers with that theory.
Yeah, that was a little rough, bro. I mean, like, I probably set term limits for
term limits for, like, I would say for justices, I think that, like, having a 50-year term limit or something like that, or there should be some sort of, like, I mean, I get it, a long term is better than to be, but like, man, 80 some odd, right?
40 years, and then I'd actually increase the House of Representatives by a year, maybe 2 years, to make them on par with senators. I'd give a little boost to the House of Representatives, maybe 1 year, just because like the senators are both going to be started crying like bitches. But make the senators a little, just do some. I do a little adjustment on some of that.
I think that we would be in a lot less of the situations that we have found ourselves in recently with the conflicts on voting or shitty candidates. If we were suicide leaders only, that's good. If we did ranked choice voting, I like the ranked choice voting idea. You like, especially when you have these big ass primary fields, and the dude with 20% ends up winning because everybody else got 15%. That shit sucks.
So what I would do? So I'd reform the tax system, but I would add a little something to it. I'd gamify the tax system. So 80% of taxes are going where they're going, whether you want or not. It's how it is right now. We're gonna put little vouchers.
I like this idea. I've heard of something like this before.
That you get to choose where to go. So if you wanted all to go to NASA, go to NASA. You wanted to go to the health, wherever you like, you choose your.
I like that idea a lot. The shitty thing is about that is that fucking half of all people are dumber than the average person, and that person's not too smart anyways. And those dumb motherfuckers are going to be betting it. Like, if there's a government agency that bets it all on black, they would fucking put their money on that shit. Like, it would be
really fun. Just an experiment for my term for like 4 years, just doing that shit.
I'd love to see it in progress.
You like, some dumb fuck sent all their money to the treasury.
You're like, oh shit.
Asshole sent it to the IRS. Like, no, like, there should be blacklist. No money to the IRS.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then, damn, that'd be really cool. Yeah. What else would I do? I'll make a stream about it if I were president. Stream. That'd be really funny.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a tough one. Those are some good ones.
Yeah. Oh man, I would end all this fucking divorce rape shit. It's done, dude. Done deal, dude. Like, and I'd make mandatory fucking like mandatory DNA tests for dads to make sure, like, for fraternity and shit. You want to shake up?
Everybody goes to Maury. Everybody's on Maury. Yeah, you are not the father. You find out right before you leave the hospital.
I'd make laws. If you are not the biological father, you are by law cannot pay child support. That is some crazy shit. You like, some guys marry some woman, and then you have to pay child support for her fucking kids. Was she out with some other dude? Even though if you like the kids, that's
crazy.
And
I like Max's comment here, man. The digital election system. I think that in general, I'll take that one step further. I think the voting day should be a national holiday. I think voting day should be a national holiday. It's insane that it's not. Most people do not have the fucking time or the energy or the nice enough boss to let them take a fucking day off of work to stand in line to fucking vote. They just don't. And like, that sucks that they can't participate. Huge swaths can't participate. We gotta fucking
we gotta make at least 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days would be great, and then like have at least one of them be like, usually try and make sure it's on a weekend and have the Friday or the Monday be like a holiday, so everybody fucking goes in.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Go back to work Tuesday.
Yeah. Take a day off, man. We're all gonna be like hammered from whether we won or lost the election, anyways. You gotta.
That's pretty dangerous too, because that shit might be actually what starts the fucking Civil War.
I remember that there's that South Park where they did that, like the election where like when they all went into the emergency room, they're like, the lady's like, which did you vote for? And you're like, why does that matter? And you're like, well, these ones who voted for this guy were hammered drunk, and these ones are all trying to kill themselves. So like, just which line is it?
Definitely. Well, all right, man. I gotta get some sleep. I gotta wake up early tomorrow.
Sounds good, brother. Sounds good. I'll catch you all later. Thanks everybody for coming on out. This is lots of fun.
For sure. We're going to have one on Saturday afternoon. Cool. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Peace.